What's going on, guys? It's Killjoy, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you the best sloop tucking spots. I'm going to also point out the pros and cons of them, so which ones are just the best and in every single situation. The first one we're going to talk about is the OG back of the sloop tarp tuck. So you're going to want to come right here, just come to this edge, and you want to slowly go forward, and you'll see your character fall down a little tiny bit. Oh, fell down too much right there. Here, it is a little difficult to get onto. You also want to be careful, so you definitely don't want to do this on a moving sloop. I'm doing it too much. You don't want to do this on a moving sloop because in the case that you mess up, you will literally just go flying off, and yeah, that is not good because you will have no way of getting on. So if you saw right there, my character went down a lot, and I still did not fall off. And you just go into your hiding position, and my butt's sticking out a little bit, but that's pretty much it. And this is a really good tuck. My head is in the wood, so it'll be very hard for them to see my gamer tag. And it's just overall definitely one of the top 5 best tucks to do. So another one I see a lot of people do is I'd say it's an okay tuck, and I don't really like it because as soon as someone gets up here, gets up their ladder, you can definitely see it right when you're walking away from it. You can definitely see someone laying down right here. But if it's dark out, I guess it would be pretty good. You definitely don't want to try to do the wheel tuck. Wheel tuck is way too hard on a sloop. I think people can easily notice you. I don't think it's that good of a tuck spot, and because once again, ladders right here, they can see right away. Also, they can probably see you once they get off the wheel or once they get on the wheel. So I don't think that one's a really good one. One that's kind of underrated is the cannon tuck. So this is just going in the corner of the cannon, right here. You don't want to go inside the cannon, that would just screw you over. You want to go in the corner of the cannon just like that, and this works really well when it's super dark out. And yeah, so because this is definitely a spot everyone looks over it. No one really looks in the corners of the cannons, so they'll be just walking like this. I mean, you could spot it if it's broad daylight. Right now it's pretty sunny out, so you can definitely tell. But that is definitely one of the a really good spot, or right here, either side of the cannon. They're both really good spots. Another one you can do is, I've seen people do this before, is right here. You can just keep slowly creeping down. I crept down a little too much right there, but you can go in front of the harpoon and tuck down. This one, it is noticeable if you are on the harpoon. You will see someone's leg can be sticking out. I didn't do it that good here. No. There, that should be better. Alright, well, okay. Doesn't. You can definitely see the person's legs sticking out, but it's only really if you go on the harpoon. You won't notice it all too much, right there. This is definitely a really good spot. You can get back here a little more, right here. There we go. So this is another really good spot, but they can kind of easily see you. Also, it's not really a good spot when the ship is moving, because if you fall off, you're literally gonna go under the ship and you won't be able to get back on. And if someone goes on them right here, if someone goes on the front and looks back, they can definitely see you really easily. So that's definitely an okay tuck spot. You can try this corner right here. It is a pretty good spot, but I just don't really like it because this is definitely a really populated area that players go down a lot, especially when they're just getting mats. If they're just coming up, just taking some mats right here, going over here, and then just, especially with the quest and everything, I really don't think it's a good spot. People might ask about chest tucks or stuff like that. Those are good tucks, but if they are experienced players, they would be going up to those chests with swords and just slashing you, or they would be putting their chests all the way right here, and you can't really tuck there because it's elevated and you can't fit there. So that's definitely a good strat to do if you're carrying chests. So right here, these like three are my personal favorite. So right here, I use this one anytime there's water. So when there's water in your ship, you want to make sure your body is obviously covered by the water. And so let's say the person has one hole and we're in the corner, and then you just hide. It's so hard to see through the water, and they're just going to be focusing on repairing the hole and getting rid of the water. So as soon as they start to repair, you can just get up and go slash them, or you can snipe at them and blunder them or do whatever you want. So this is definitely one of those good spots. Right here is literally the same exact thing. It's definitely a really good spot, and it's also overlooked because when you're like taking some wood, you might not see it at first glance. You might see it, you might not, but I definitely think these two spots are really good. This is only when there's like a high water level. One I have seen people do this one. This one is not really good. Just for instance, you can walk down and literally just see them right there. Your camera's literally straight on them, and it's just not an overall good spot. I have seen people try tucking here, like this, and I guess it's okay if the person doesn't notice it. It's like out of the ordinary. It could be a good spot, but I really just don't think it's one of those ones that's just up there. So this is one I love to use right here, this corner right here. So you can tuck right here. Oh, you gotta position your character like kind of good, like that, right behind the water barrel. So when someone comes down and they go to the wood barrel, the camera is just out of reach just because this water barrel is blocking it. And so once you go up to it, get your wood. No one really, I mean, I usually turn left to go back up. I don't really turn right. And even with food, you just turn and go back up. You don't even think to look behind the water barrel. This is a really good spot, especially if they have like loot down here, or you want to get like a good visual of like the map and everything. So that's a really good spot. Now we're going to talk about some masked spots. So people will try to do just the standard bird's nest tuck, which is like right behind this pole. I really don't think it's a good idea, because if they have kegs up here, I mean, that's a really good idea. And you want to definitely tuck it inside the kegs. And you want to also make sure they have a lot. If they only have one keg, they could probably notice your body sticking out. So if they have one keg, probably try to go inside of it, or just don't even go near the keg at all, because the chance that they slash it by accident, or they slash it on purpose just to kill you, it would just ruin your whole entire tuck. So I definitely don't, in my situation, if it were like my option, I don't think I'd be close to the keg. I think I'd just try to either like get rid of it somehow, or just choose a whole different spot. And you don't want to be next to the kegs, because they could just easily destroy your whole entire tuck. This one right here is just a god one. I just love this one so much. This is one I use very frequently. You have to go directly behind this, and you want to angle yourself so if you look at the pole, it's super hard to see. So when you're when you're on the ladder and you're coming up, you have to be very careful. That's why you have to get this tuck perfectly. So they might be able to see right here within this window, right? Just as they're going up, they can see right there. So you definitely do want to be careful. So that's why usually I just try to get as straight as possible, just to make sure. And of course, have your character be wearing all black, just so you blend in even more. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best tucks. I don't think many people really check here. You could get screwed if they are smart players, and if they do look for tuckers, they could just scope in on you, probably like this, or they could go on the other side. It is really hard to tell though, so they could definitely just look right there, or they could definitely just blunder you, and if there's a keg up there, you'd literally insta die. So you definitely don't want to do that. I just highly suggest this spot right here. This is a really good spot. But if they're moving, I really don't think you should do that. If they're like stationary, like at Fort of the Damned, and you want to kill them right as they finish, this is definitely a good spot. And right here is also a good spot. Just just like that. So those are the best tucking spots on a sloop. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please go subscribe and make sure you like the video. See you next time.